Every family has secrets. Some just call them loyalty. Look, we need to address a major misconception. We often think that if we don't talk about a secret, it just stays in the dark. We think that by not giving it words, we've successfully contained it like a box we've pushed into the very back of a closet and locked away. But secrets don't sit still. They migrate. When a family refuses to speak the truth, that truth doesn't just disappear. It changes its clothes. It stops being a story you tell with words and starts being a behavior you perform with your body. Today, we're looking at the outward leakage. We're talking about how the things you weren't allowed to say become the things you now just do without even thinking about it. Think of secrets like steam in a pressure cooker. If there's no valve, meaning if there's no honest, open conversation, that energy has to find its way out. It's basic physics. Energy can't be destroyed. It can only be displaced. In houses where silence is enforced, that energy leaks out through the way you relate to the world right now. Does a quiet room give you an unexplained surge of anxiety? That's because your body learned that silence is usually just the breath before a storm. Are you obsessed with perfection? Does every pillow have to be straight? Does every dish have to be put away immediately? That's not just you being neat. That's you learned early on that if everything looks perfect on the outside, nobody is going to look for the secret on the inside. You're using order to mask the disorder you weren't allowed to name. You aren't quirky or difficult. Your behaviors are just the subtitles for a movie your family refused to play. Your body is finally given a voice to what your tongue was forced to hide. Now here's a sobering thought. A lot of the habits you think are just your personality are actually inherited survival strategies. That habit of never asking for help, that's not independence. That's the secret inside you saying, don't let anyone in too close or they might see the cracks. That habit of over-explaining yourself even when you haven't done anything wrong, that's the secret saying, control the narrative before they can even question it. You are acting out a script that was written before you were even born. When we don't process the trauma of the past, we're forced to perform it in the present. You aren't just living your life, you're managing a legacy of avoidance. And until you name that legacy, it's going to keep driving your hands while you think you're the one steering the wheel. You have become the physical evidence of a story that was meant to be deleted. You are the echo of a sound the family tried to mute. And it's a strange feeling to realize that your personality might actually just be a collection of defenses you built to stay safe. There's a massive difference between a habit and a history. You've been performing this silence for so long that you've probably forgotten what your own natural rhythm even feels like. Healing starts when you realize you don't have to be the living proof of someone else's secrets anymore. The truth doesn't need you to act it out. You're allowed to just be. You can take the costume off now. Here's your affirmation. Okay, we're going to do something different. Look down at your hands for a second. Really look at them. Those hands have been carrying a lot of weight. They've been busy fixing, cleaning, and hiding for a long time. I want you to let those hands rest on your lap, completely open. Here's your affirmation. Say it with me. I am more than my survival strategies. I recognize that my behaviors have been a way of speaking the truth in a house that demanded silence. I am allowed to put down the habits that no longer serve me. I am allowed to be a person, not a performance. I am allowed to be known. This is Family Secrets. You deserve to move through the world without having to apologize for existing. You know what it is. Before we go, sit with this. What's one habit you have, like overworking, overexplaining, or overcleaning, that feels more like a requirement than a choice? Whose secret are you protecting with that habit? And what would happen if you just stopped doing it for one day? Think about what that freedom would feel like. I'll see you in the next conversation.